How do two people who've never directed a film before in their lives direct a film?
Well, I don't know. We're really learning as we do it. That's what's nice. We've been given a whole feature film to learn how to make films on.
They're pretty good. Yes, they're pretty good. They're both very visually orientated. They're very aware of picture composition and so forth.
Ingmar Bergman's going to be jealous of this one.
And there's a slight joke about us that we make about them, that the jokes tend to be a bit secondary to whether it looks good, you know. So we keep sort of, when they say more smoke, and this kind of thing, because we've hardly had a shot yet when we haven't had smoke or some arty visual effect, we tend to ask them how many laughs there are in the smoke, you know, just to keep them, as it were, thinking of that. But that's the only criticism I've made.
Up with the cow as high as you can to start with.
You've got your questions ready.
I know I've got my questions ready. Which of these questions would you most not like to answer?
The first couple of days, we just sort of leaped into it, and immediately, I mean, we'd first of all chosen an impossible location. It was about a half a mile up Glen Coe, so everything had to be humped by Sherpas up the mountain. We got up there, the very first shot of the film, the big moment, the camera turns and it jams. So we didn't have a sound camera, and all our great laid plans were suddenly up in the air. And we panicked, and we just had to try to get a film made suddenly on the spot, because we had this incredible location, no camera, and no experience. That's the worst thing.
They're doing a grand job. Well, I mean, I love, you know, I mean, I can't say anything. I adore them all, and I think everything they do is so well. But they know they're working very well together, and it works.
Where's the other Terry now?
He's directing the film.
Charlie, you come to this mark there, to where Suko is. Suko even further.
No, this
We do tag team directing. And he finishes that, he'll come out here and exhaustedly tap me on the shoulder, and I'll rush into action, and away we'll go.
And what other things do you do apart from make the tea and things like that?
Oh, the tea, yes, that's very, and the buns I have to do a lot of. Well, I don't know, it's a dog's body job, actually, directing. I think it's, it really has just got to organise things and work out what you're doing in the morning, and it's a very thankless task.
But I mean, you're all treating them with proper respect.
Well, I mean, there's never been any mutual respect within the Python group at all, as you probably know, but we're withholding a lot of the criticism that we would normally be making. Yeah, right foot forward.
It's just funny, or yeah.
Vediver's helmet's here, and so is Robin's. I haven't like the
Hi. Turn around, we watch and think, look out for it.
Okay. There are big theories, actually.
Is my flight there?
No, I like them. Yeah. Some stage, not now.
Everybody together.
Can you give me a brief synopsis of the film? Is that possible in the space of half an hour or so?
Well, I don't think it is, really. I don't think it is.
Well, try in then 30 seconds.
Right. It's about a search for the Holy Grail, see, which is a large sort of creature, a bit like a dodo, with a big beak. And people are trying to find this Grail.
Do they?
No. No.
Isn't that rather a letdown? Don't you feel the audience...
It's a big letdown. The whole film is a great anticlimax.
I see. And that starts fairly soon after the credit titles, does it?
It does, yes. Starts in immediately.
In immediately, after the census certificate.
In comes the anticlimax.
Which do you think is most important?
No, which do you think are most important?
Which do you think are
We'll end board this.
I'm surprised to see how very closely you are sticking to the script. Is this an essential, do you think?
Yeah, I think with Python we usually do stick fairly closely to the scripts, actually. They're usually pretty carefully worked out, because they're so involved usually. You have to stick, you know, you have to work everything out in advance.
We went away and wrote bits and came back and put them together into a first draft. This is probably 15 months ago, I think. Not more than 10 or 15% still remains. And then we sort of went on playing with it and got it into one shape. And In that shape, half of it was medieval and half of it was modern. And by this time, we got the idea that it should be something about the Holy Grail. And then we suddenly said, let's go for the whole thing as medieval Holy Grail. And so we then did another rewrite and then a fourth one. So this is about the fourth, fifth draft, as it were. It was a very slow process because we never knew where we were going until we were nearly there.
It's very scripted. Very scripted. As ever, yes, it's very scripted. And then we get together and just about 10 minutes before a take, the script is slightly rewritten. About 5 minutes before the take, it's fairly radically rewritten. So, in fact, at the very last minute, there's usually some little extra bits creep in.
Shit. Cut. We cut. Hold your position, please.
Would you still
Have said...
up?
I
don't think I can read your writing.
Hello. If you were offered a starring part in Dixon of Dock Green or Match of the Day, which would you accept?
Very good, isn't he? Much better than me.
How much rivalry is there between you and the other knights? I mean, they must be pretty jealous of you all the while lording it over them.
Yes, this crown that I wear, you see, it's very sparkly and glittery and...
Oh, you're not wearing your crown now?
Not at the moment, no.
That was it.
No, this is for playing Biggles. I wear this.
I know this is a silly question, but how does Biggles fit exactly into the search for the Holy Grail?
It doesn't. No, it doesn't fit in at all. It's one of the big problems we've had with the plot and writing it. We just couldn't get Biggles in, really, and I don't know what we're going to do about it.
I'm surprised, though, you didn't have this written into your contract.
What?
That Biggles should appear, and then you wouldn't have had this problem, you see.
Yes.
Part of the publicity, I think, says that your film is going to make Ben-Hur look like an epic.
What first attracted you to the idea of doing an epic?
Oh, well, I've always admired Charlton Heston's work, you know, and his body, so I thought, well...
I'm interested in the way this film has been backed financially, because you haven't got the usual sort of backers. You've got the Pink Floyd and
a lot of rock money, yeah, because that's I mean, I think that's a hardcore Python fans. You know, we've got Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, we've got a lot of record companies, Ireland, Chrysalis, Charisma, and Michael White, the theatre producer. And you know, that's I think they are the real hardcore Python freaks. You know.
Hello.
Hello. Who is it?
It is King Arthur, and these are my knights of the Round Table.
You're involved musically. What are you exactly contributing to the film?
Terror and heroics at certain points to really do a job, you know, with the music to sort of either create the lump in the throat or make the back hairs stick out.
Castles did you look at before you decided on Dune?
Oh, we did a lot of castles, Tony. I think we did every castle in the country, actually.
It is a good castle, actually.
Nice thing about this castle is it has a lot of interiors which are still original, where they haven't put up sort of phony banners and odd banqueting tables, you know, holding sort of medieval banquets on Saturday nights and this sort of thing. So it was perfect from our point of view. They were very authentic looking, and it was ideal.
Who do you think you are, Errol Flynn?
It's gone to your head, you swine!
Get back! Go and tell your master that we have been charged by God with a sacred quest. If he will give us food and shelter for the night, he may join us in our holy quest for the Grail.
Well, I'll ask him, but I don't think he'll be very keen. He's already got one, you see.
What?
He says they've already got one.
Are you sure he's got one?
Oh, yes, it's very nice.
Well,
What's it like being a film star?
I'm not. Just an extra, really.
You're just an extra?
Yes.
Oh.
It's the crown and this that probably
Yeah, I was looking
makes
for
you
Graham
think. Ah, yes, he's around somewhere.
Is he?
Yes, here he is.